What's up, y'all? Finally, the draft happened. It was a lot of fun. I watched it with some friends, and we had a lot of input every pick. Just guessing who's going to get picked and if we like the pick, and just seeing where these guys are going to fit in. I really think it was one of those drafts like not too many surprises. You kind of knew where people were going beforehand. But then again, there are always those wrenches always get thrown in. Kind of with the trades and certain teams move up in the draft, certain teams move back. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about that, and I'm give you some rookies to watch out for, some teams I thought got better, some teams I thought got worse, and just what I saw from the night. The best pick, it's gonna be cliche just because it's number one pick, but I finally think Philly got their guard that they've been looking for in Fultz. Can score the ball. I think he's a better passer than people give him credit for. And I think if you put him with the, if Ben Simmons comes back healthy and Embiid's healthy and Sarge is healthy, you got something in the next couple of years to look forward to as far as, 76er basketball. So I thought that was the best pick. I know it's cliche at one, but, he's rated the top player and he filled a need there in the backcourt, and that's just what it is. Best fit, I think Lonzo Ball. They got rid of Russell, so they obviously needed a lead guard, somebody to handle the ball. And, he passes, has great court vision. He's probably the best guard with court vision coming out the last maybe 5-6 years that I can remember. And, when you got Magic Johnson as, the one kind of pulling the strings and making decisions, it's not hard to believe he's going to take the pass first point guard. So I didn't think that was a surprise, but I think that's a really good fit for him. Obviously, being from the LA area, but they got some pieces, man. They got Randall, Ingram, Zubac. I think he's a little bit better than people, give him credit for. Larry Nance, young guy, very skilled, very athletic, and if they ever pull off this Paul George trade, they might have something going forward here. So we'll see what happens with that. But I do think that was the best pick. Or the best fit, I'm sorry. Best value pick, Mavericks number 9, Dennis Smith. I truly believe that if he doesn't tear his ACL in high school, puts up crazy numbers in high school, puts up good numbers like he did at NC State, I think you're looking at a dude that probably goes in the top 3. I think maybe he goes 5 to Sacramento instead of De'Aaron Fox. Like, super talented, super athletic. He did a dunk. I'm not sure when he did it, maybe earlier this week, but it was put online like last night or night before. Between the legs, finished with the left, but it was like a 360 between the legs, the opposite way. It's very hard to explain. You got to see it, just YouTube it. But very tough dunk, and if your point guard's doing that, that just doesn't make sense. We're not even going to talk about that anymore. But I think the steal of the draft, may look at me crazy for this, but I think Jordan Bell, Oregon. The Bulls picked him, but Golden State traded for him. They gave the Bulls, cash considerations, and they got him. A very athletic player, shot blocker. Not a 5, but plays the 5 in college, and I think he'll play the 5 for the Warriors just because, of course, they go small. And with him and Draymond protecting the rim, and even Kevin Durant protecting the rim, I really think he fits in well with them there. I wouldn't be surprised if you see, I'm not sure what McAdoo's contract looks like or where, how much money he makes or, how much longer he has, but I think that's Jordan Bell minutes now. I think that he just took his minutes kind of, and I don't know what they're going to do with Zaza. I don't know what they're doing. David West, they're both on 1-year deals, and I know McGee's up too. So this is a player that can come in right away and, he can play big minutes, but you're not asking him to do much. You're not giving him the ball and say, hey, go get 20. You protect the rim. Nothing easy. If you got a foul, make him earn it, make him shoot your free throws, and, just be physical, play your game. And when you get the rebound, outlet. And, they got 4 people that can push the ball, KD, Clay, Draymond, and Curry. So I think that was a really good pick. I really think he's still a draft, and I think you'll see why, when the season comes. A questionable pick, got to go with the Knicks. Point guard out of France. Very good frame, very good size for a point guard, but just small sample size. Like, obviously didn't play college here in the U.S. He's 18 years old. He'll be 19 when the season starts. Just haven't seen much of him. He didn't even start on his team in France, and now you're probably going to throw him out there, for an 82-game season, and you're going to say, point guards, I think that's the toughest position in the league to play just because there's no breaks. One night you might see Conley, one night you might see Westbrook, one night, it's Kyrie. The next night it's, even though these guys might play for bad teams, you got D'Angelo Russell you got to play against. You got Chris Paul, like Kyle Lowry, like it's ridiculous. There's no off night. There's no night you can look on the schedule and be like, oh, I'm good. I can chill this night. Like, no, you're gonna have to deal with some problems each and every night. And one day it might be a dude like Curry that shoots lights out, or next night it might be a dude like Westbrook who's just constantly attacking the basket, constantly putting you on your heels in transition. So that's gonna be a lot to ask out of the 18-year-old kid. But hey, maybe they know something we don't, and hopefully as he pans out. Just for all you Knicks fans, because I know you guys have been going through it lately. But that was real questionable for me, just because Dennis Smith went a pick later, like literally the next pick. You got a dude who I think he had the first triple-double in NC State history. Countless 25-plus point games. Been on the radar, proven he can play. So I think that was a little bit of a reach. Don't know what he's going to do. Don't know what they're planning to do, just because there were talks of them trying to give it to Porzingis. So seems like they're putting a lot of faith in this kid, and I just don't know how this is going to pan out. A team I think that got better through the draft was Minnesota. They got rid of Zach LaVine, their first-round pick from 2014, won the dunk contest twice, averaged 19 last year before he tore his ACL. Got rid of their last year's pick, Chris Dunn, point guard out of Providence. Didn't play that much, but then again, Ricky Rubio had a really good year. Second half of the season, after the All-Star break, he averaged like 16 and like 11. So, I mean, you can't expect to play when you're sitting behind a dude that's doing that. So, not sure what the Bulls are getting out of them, but you got those two, and they gave the Bulls the right to the 7th pick, which they pick Lauri Markkanen out of Arizona. Good big, semi-athletic, can shoot the ball. Had a good year. Just looks like a project. Looks like it'll take them 2 or 3 years. But Wolves got Jimmy Butler and Justin Patton, who the Wolves selected with the 16th pick. Freshman out of Creighton, redshirt freshman out of Creighton, averaged 19 points, 6 rebounds. He had like the highest field goal percentage for any freshman in the Power 5 conferences. So he looks like somebody could put next to Karl Towns. Protect the rim, rim run, catch lobs. So he looks like he could be something good. He looks like he might be that guy that maybe in 2 or 3 years people are like, they always like to put out those lists like redrafting the 2017 draft. So say it's year 2020 and they're making one of these lists. Like he might be a dude that ends up in that top 6 instead of going 16. So I think obviously the Wolves got the better of that deal. So now you're throwing out a lineup of Rubio, Wiggins, Towns, Gorgie Jang, and Butler. I mean, Butler, all-NBA player, probably one of the top 15 players in basketball. Wiggins had a great year. Towns, I think he's going to be an all-star next year. Rubio, always solid. Get you 10 and 10, probably 2 steals. Gorgie Jang, double-double, blocker too. So I think they got better last night, or 2 nights ago. I think they got better. I think they put the league on watch that, we're no longer the team that has potential. Like, we're trying to win now. Great move by Tom Thibodeau. Obviously reunites with Jimmy Butler. But I think the Wolves made a statement last night. On the flip side of that, I think the Bulls are tanking. I know they just re-signed Wade, or Wade picked up his option for $24 million. But I think they will buy him out at some point of the season. Sure, they'll buy out Rondo some point of the season and just go with what they got and hope they get a top 5 selection in next year's draft and possibly the year after that. So I'm going to call it early. The Bulls are tanking. That wasn't a move. First of all, it wasn't enough for Jimmy Butler. I know Zach LaVine is, average 19 and Butler only averaged 24, but I don't care what world you live in, not equal. Obviously, you got one more player than the other team did, but I don't think that matters. I think they could have got more for Jimmy Butler, but like I said, they dealt with Tom Thibodeau, familiar face, I just think it was too good of a deal for Minnesota and not that good of a deal for Chicago. I think Chicago definitely, kind of put out there early, like, we're not trying to win this year. Because I think it would have been the same as last year. Make the playoffs, maybe win a first-round series, or maybe lose 4-2 again. So I think they just finally they're going to rebuild. They got rid of, nobody's on that team. Nobody's on the team from when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals and they were having a lot of success. Butler's gone, Dang, Rose, Boozer, Noah, all those guys are gone. Korver. So I think they let everybody know last night, like, hey, we're going to fall back. We're going to try to be good in 2 years. And Minnesota's, definitely, Portland had that 8th spot last year, and I think they won 42 games, 41 games. And now, I think Jimmy Butler's worth an extra, 8 to 10 wins, so they might be in the playoff picture. So I think the balance of the NBA just got a little bit different. Obviously, they're a long ways from messing with Golden State, but I think it just, solidified their chances of having a better year and a better team going forward and improving the franchise. Rookie of the year, I think Ball gets it just because being a point guard, you're going to have the ball in your hands so much and you're just going to be able to make plays. And so I think he'll be somewhere around 12.7 assists. Maybe the Lakers win a couple more games than they did last year. So I think he'll win that. And I think he'll get a couple, a steal or two. And I got a feeling he's gonna average probably close to a block, maybe like 0.7. Like block a shot maybe every other game, just like randomly, like just because he's kind of long for a point guard. Like they say he's 6'5", but it's like whenever I watch him play and he's his arms are flaring everywhere on defense, he's got really good instincts. I think he might average close to a block. So quote me on that, and hopefully I'm right. I think the rookie that's going to surprise, and this is going to wrap it up, the rookie that's going to surprise a lot of people, and I was surprised that he went 11, Malik Monk. Went to Charlotte, obviously team run by Michael Jordan. They just got the Dwight Howard. It seems like they're building something over there. Haven't always been the greatest perimeter shooting team, so he feels that need. And being that he can shoot, I think that's automatic time on the floor. I think he's just going to, there's going to be times where you're not getting offense out of Gilchrist or offense out of Batum, and I think he comes in. Maybe he comes off the bench, but I think those opportunities to score will be there, and I think he will take advantage of them and knock down shots. So that's my wrap-up for the draft. If you got any questions, drop them below the video. Any other questions, I'm on Twitter, @JDPGTB. And let's start the conversation, man. I was really excited about the draft, but what's next? July 1st, free agency. What's Gordon Hayward going to do? What's Blake going to do? What's CP3 going to do? Will Paul George be traded? Millsap? It's a lot of names out there. So we'll see what happens. And I'll definitely be posting some more videos in the next week or two. So take it easy.